Okay, good evening. Last session, we learned about what are the various techniques of referring HTML. So one technique we learned, JavaScript can refer HTML elements by using DOM hierarchy. Yesterday we saw that example. But what is problem is, by using DOM hierarchy, whenever you change the position of element, you have to update that position with index number in the code every time. That is the problem we learned with refer elements by using DOM. So this is the yesterday's example. Yeah. So this is the example, and we learned by using DOM hierarchy. Now what is so advantage of this is it is faster in access. Because why it is faster? It is the native method to access elements. Native methods means browser can easily understand this technique, and it is the fastest method of accessing. So what is problem here is, so the issue is whenever you change the element position, it must update the logic. It must update the position in logic. So whenever you change the element position in page, okay, in page, it must update the position in logic also. Yesterday we saw the problem. So JavaScript can refer elements by using DOM hierarchy. So what is good and what is bad? We use this technique. I already told you there is nothing like which one is best. That is decided according to situation. So it is also used, but in different occasions. Now, what is another technique is, this example already I given yesterday. So what is another technique is, you can refer elements by using name. JavaScript allows to refer elements by using name. You can refer elements by using name. What does that mean? See, now I will remove this logic. Now you can see all these elements are normal. I want JavaScript to take control and display some values. So for every element, we are giving a name now. For image, I will give a name as pic. For form, I will give a name as FRM register. For text box, we don't need because we don't want to refer it. So which one we have to refer? Button. For button, I will give a name. What is it? BTN. Suppose BTN register. That is the name. Now similarly, another form, you can have name FRM login. And here for button, we have a name BTN login. Now every element have a name. Now we can access by using name. Suppose I want to access the picture, simply on body load pic dot src is equal to dot slash images. We have public slash assets slash some shoe dot jpg, like this. That's simple. We can just access by using the name. Now you can see that is working fine. But what is problem here is, if you are referring any child element, which is a member of parent, you cannot access the child elements directly. Refer by name is good. It's very simple. But you cannot access any child element directly. Without referring parent, you cannot access child. So what is the problem? That means here what is good? Every element can be defined with a name, with a name attribute. So you can access by using name. But problem is here, the issue is you cannot access a child element without referring to its parent. That is important. That means you cannot access a child element without referring to its parent. That is problem. For example, I want to access this button BTN register. As per the DOM hierarchy, you have seen that this is a member of who? Parent. Parent is form. Inside form, these are elements. Now here I am accessing BTN register dot value is equal to register. BTN register is a button, its value we are defining here. Now you can see that so it's not working because BTN register is a child element. Its parent is FRM register. So without referring to parent, you cannot refer child. Similarly, if I say BTN login dot value is equal to login, it's also not working here. We cannot access without referring to the parent. Parent is, we have to access the form. Form is FRM register. In that register, in that BTN register. Similarly, FRM login in that BTN login. Now you can see, now it works fine. Now even you change the position doesn't matter. Why? Because this time we are referring by using name. So that means if I change the position, I remove this button from here and put before the text box, it doesn't matter. It will have that name as it is. It will not affect. You can keep anything anywhere you want. You can define it. But what is problem with this name reference? First, you cannot access child element without referring to parent. Suppose now imagine you have to access a table cell. Who is the parent of table cell? Table row. Who is the parent of table row? Table body. Who is the parent of table body? Table. You have to refer all. Table in table, table body, in table body, table row, in table row, table cell. That's lengthy. That is, with name, you can do like this only. There is no other chance. Another problem is there. You know that name can be common for multiple elements. Name can be common for multiple elements. Then it cannot apply. Because you saw radio button. When we use a radio button, all radios can have same name. Then it is difficult. If the name can be same given for another element also. So that means name can be common for same multiple elements. Then problem, you cannot apply. If the same name elements are many and you are trying to access by name, it will not work. So that is another problem. So when name is good, when you are referring any element directly, and when you are accessing an element which is not a child. So, and there is no other element with that name. In that cases, this is good. We use both combinations. In one page, we can refer one element with the DOM hierarchy. We can refer another element by using name. It's your wish. It's not like all should be name, all should be DOM. You can refer any element with any reference. So this is another example how we can refer by using name. Same example what I given previously yesterday, but this time we are using name. That is second technique. Now what is solution for this? So you can refer by using ID. You can refer by using ID. That means every element can have a unique ID. You can give a unique ID for every element. What is advantage is you can access any element directly without referring to parent. That's good. We can easily access any element directly. For that, we have to use a method called document.getElement by ID. Document.getElement by ID. By using this, we can access any element. Now, you don't need to worry about parent child. Anywhere that element is there, you can directly access. For example, see now here, for every, it can have ID, name, class, everything. You can use whatever you want. It's not like, as I already told you, all name only, all ID only. You can use one name, another ID, another DOM, according to your convenience. Here I am giving ID as pick. I am giving this form ID as FRM register, but not required actually. For button, I am giving an ID as BTN register. So here for login, directly here I am giving ID as BTN login. So it is also having an ID, some FRM login, but we don't need that actually. So now see, let's remove these names. Okay. Now I want to access this picture and display. Then simply we'll use document.getElement by ID. And here, what is the element? ID. We have to access the ID is pick. In that, what type of element it is? Image. Image means it will have .src. src is equal to here /public/ assets / some jacket .jpg. I'm using this. Then it can get that and display. Suppose I want to access register button, document.getElement by ID BTN register. BTN register is a button, then value. Value is equal to, we have to use register. Similarly, document.getElement by ID BTN login. So dot value is equal to login. You don't need to refer to form. You can directly access that. It is also working fine. But here also we have problem, right? What is problem with ID reference? ID reference, the problem here is ID is also used as a selector for CSS. Because ID is not only for JavaScript, we use ID for CSS also. Then problem will come. That means for JavaScript, ID should be unique, but for CSS, ID can be common. Same ID we can give for several elements, but JavaScript problem. Then problem. That means CSS ID can be common, right? Common for multiple elements. but JavaScript ID cannot be common. Then you have problem. That means an element is having ID for CSS. And can we have two IDs for element? We cannot have two IDs for element. That means you cannot say that one ID I will use for CSS, another ID I will use for HTML, JavaScript. It's not possible. Every element can have only one ID. You have to use the same for both CSS as well as for JavaScript. If any element having a CSS ID and the same element you have to use in your JavaScript, then and that ID is being used by others, then you cannot use get element by ID. You have to use name or you have to use DOM hierarchy. That is the reason nobody can say which one is best. You cannot say which one is best, because that best depends on the best completely depends on situation and the requirement of the page. We use all of them, but regularly you will see people very much using this one, because so this is easy to refer any child element, but not mandatory. It's not that everyone have to use this. So this is element by IDs. Example is this. Same example, but this time by using ID. And we understood the problems of ID. We can use another. You can access elements by using CSS selectors. You can try CSS selectors also. Suppose I want to access according to class given to it. JavaScript don't have that. Then JavaScript can use CSS selectors. For that, what it can do is JavaScript uses the method. We have a method called query selector. Document dot query selector. Query selector, it will use the CSS selector. That means it uses CSS selector. CSS selector means what? CSS selector means it can be ID selector, class selector, type selector, anything. We can use ID, class, type. Type means, for example, I will remove this again. Okay, I want to access this picture. What is its type? Type is IMG. We can simply access document.query selector IMG. IMG refers to directly element type. img.src is equal to /public/ assets / some shoe.jpg. And you can see it will display that now. But what is problem? If there is another image, then we have a problem. If only one is there, then simply you can use this. You can access by using ID. Suppose I want to access this button by ID, then we can do like this. Document.query selector. We can use how to access ID. IDs are accessed by using hash. Hash btn register. This time it is a button, then it will have a value. I will give as register. You can see it can get that. Suppose this is having a class. If it is having a class btn, I want to access that btn class and apply for that button. Then what you can do is, here you can use document.query selector and .btn, that is class. And it is .value and I want to keep as login. Then you can see this is also working. That means you can access by type, you can access by ID, or you can access by class. Later you will see you can use CSS attribute selector, descendant selectors, anything. You can use all your CSS selectors here and you can access and use them. This is very important. So if you don't have a problem with repeating of names and IDs, only one element is there and you want to apply some effects, then you can directly use a query selector. This is very helpful later. Suppose I want to access paragraphs and handle them, then they don't have any IDs, then you can access any paragraph. That's later you will see more complex things. This is not examples. These are just techniques of references you are learning. That means you are just learning in how many ways JavaScript can take control over HTML. Right? These are not examples. These are just references. So that shows the syntax, right? So let me put this, right? So you have so many things. You can access elements by class. You can access element CSS selectors. You can access by using ID. You can access by using name, and you can access by using DOM hierarchy. Now, this is basically accessing single element. Actually, you can access multiple elements. You can access multiple elements. So by using collection methods, we have collection methods. Suppose I want to access all images in page. How many images are there? I want to access all. How many divs are there? I want to access all. How many paragraphs are there? I want to access all. Suppose I want to know how many headings are there. I want to know how many images are there. Then you have to access all of them. Currently, what you learned is it can access a specific, any one element. By using ID, by using name, or by using tag name, you are accessing only one element. If you want to access multiple elements, then we have the methods document.getElements by tag name. We have document.getElements by class name. We have document.getElements by name. These are the methods. These are, see, wherever you see in computer programming, this is one simple point technique. Wherever you see singular, some hotel, singular, that means it is referring to one. You see plural, that means it is many. Software technologies use this tradition very clearly. Wherever a method says yes elements, that means it is more than one. Right? Element, that is single. That elements, yes, plurals, you see plural word anywhere, that means it is more than one. So that is a basic tradition we have to follow later while naming also. When we are naming, we have to follow that. Already we have that here. So what these do is get elements by tag name. It will return all elements. Suppose I want to know how many headings are used here, how many divs used here, I want to know. Then I can write a simple logic, document.getElements, get elements by tag name. Get elements by tag name. Which tag? Div. That means it will return how many divs are there. But you have to learn how to handle a collection. For that, you need to learn a concept called arrays. Later, when you learn arrays, you will learn how to handle collections. As of now, simple. See, what I am doing is, I am just keeping a message like this, alert. So document.elements by tag name div, and here I will just put as dot length. Length means how many are there. Alert is just to show a pop-up. You can see a pop-up will come and says 3 divs are there. That means we are accessing that and we are displaying. So that means you can see in the page there are 3 divs. This is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3. I want to know how many forms are there. Just I have to use tag name form. Then how many forms are there? 2 forms are there. It will return it. We can access individually those forms and work with them. That we will see later. For that, you have to learn handling collections. This is to get the elements by using tag name. That means you can just mention the tag. How many inputs are there? How many inputs are there? 4 inputs are there. Input text, input email, input buttons, 2 buttons are there. That means it will get that information. This is very important to access all of them and handle them. Right? For that, we have this option, get elements by tag name. So we have the get elements by tag name. Suppose I will put here, okay. Another point, suppose when you are using Bootstrap, you want to know how many primary buttons are there, how many danger buttons are there, right? Then you have to access by using get elements by not tag name, by using class name. How many elements are using BTN class? I want to know. So currently only one element is there by name 0, 1 is there by name BTN. That means only one element is using the class called BTN. Right? It will get that. How many elements are using that class? You can give any class name. It will get how many elements are using that class. How many elements are using center align? How many elements are using button style danger? All such things you can access by class name. Just I will give this one. Same program, some changes you have to make. Example is this. You can use tag name, you can use class name, you can also use name. Name means how many elements have a common name if you want to refer elements with common name. For example, suppose here I will remove all this now. And here I will put a field set with a legend. So I said payment. Yeah, I'll say payment methods. And here I will keep an simple first one is suppose credit card like this card. And here we have input type is equal to radio. And it has a name called pay. Right? So I'm just using this. Pay. Okay. And the credit card. So, and another radio. Because we know the radio rules that all should have same name. Am I right? So all radios must have same name. Then they exhibit mutex mechanism. So I say some debit card. Now I want to know how many payment methods are there. Then we have to use get elements by name. What is the name of those elements? Pay. How many elements are there? Pay. That means you can see it says 3 elements are there by pay. How many elements are using same name? You can access them and you can use. This is very important in later stages when you are dealing with multiple elements. So as of now, we don't need multiple elements until or unless we learn a topic called arrays. So we have to deal with only single. For single element, so many options are there. So we can access elements. So finally, let me give you the summary. We can access elements by DOM hierarchy. And we can access elements by tag name, by name. We can access by using ID. And you can also access by CSS selectors. For that, we have to use a query selector. So before starting with JavaScript, first you have to know how JavaScript can access any element. That is the first step. So first step before this is how to put JavaScript in page. Internal, inline, embedded, external files. What is strict mode? What is strongly typed? So all these are very important at interview level. Right? And how we Refer elements in JavaScript, that is techniques. These are all the techniques. Now important, once we know how JavaScript refers elements, now we need to know JavaScript output methods. In any computer programming language, when you are learning any programming language, for every programming language, input and output techniques are important. What is difference between presentation language and programming language? HTML is a presentation language. Its purpose is only to present. And programming languages handle interaction and communication with user. A programming language can take input from user, it can process that input and generate an output required and return it. That means a programming language always depends on input and output. That means what it has to do, you tell, it will do that and it will return that result. That means every programming language handles the interactions with user, communication with user by using input and output. So that is the reason in any programming, Java, .NET, C, C++, anywhere, you will first learn about how they manage input and output, how to take a value, how to present a value, how to handle interaction with the values. So first we will see how JavaScript can show output. For example, suppose we are creating a separate page. Let's keep a page output methods.html. Okay. I'm adding a simple HTML page, and here in this I will just keep here output methods. Okay. And here let's keep a button, just insert. Now when user clicks on insert, or I will just keep delete. When user clicks on delete, I need to show a message deleted. That means our intention is to show some message output. So how you can handle output? So what are the various output methods? So JavaScript output methods, we have so many. We have alert, we have confirm. So we have console methods. Console methods, actually we have log, we have like debug, we have like error, so we have like warn. So these are all console methods. Actually we have like inner document write, document.write. So we have like inner HTML, we have outer HTML, and we have inner text. These are all the output methods. Depending on situation and requirement, we use various. In JavaScript, you can show output in so many ways. You can show output in various. We have alerts, confirm, console methods, document write, so many other things you will see later. But these are the basic output methods. Actually, see, what is the requirement here? I will tell you. The requirement is nothing but, I'll close this page. So when user clicks the button, that means for the button we have to write on click. On click, we will write a function called delete click. It's a function. We have to write in the script, we have to write a function that is delete click. That means when user clicks the button, this function will fire up. So what it should do? It should display some message. I will put a message using alert. What is alert? In Bootstrap, you learned alert. In Bootstrap, you have seen alert. So here alert is actually, so it is a window object. It is a window object. It is a window object. Alert is a window object. What it will do is it pops up. It pops up a message box, a message box in window to display your message. That means it pops up a message box in window to display a message. What is important is about this alert is you cannot cancel. There is no cancel. So mandatory confirm. You have to confirm mandatory. That means okay. There is no cancel. Even you type escape, ESC is equal to okay. That means even you press escape key, that is equal to okay. There is no chance of canceling this. So alert will display message which will not allow to close. You have to confirm. You say okay, then it is closed. You cannot cancel it. Anyway, you cannot cancel it. You press escape, you close browser, it confirms as okay. Confirms as okay. That means you see here, I am showing alert. Alert, in the alert method, we have to put a message in the double quotes. I am writing a message. Record will be deleted. This message I am giving. Now you can see when I run this and I click on delete button, then it will show a pop-up. This is a member of browser. This is a member of browser. There is no cancel. There is no cancel. There is no close. There is no cancel. You may think that I will press escape. Escape will close, but it is confirm and close. That means if you say escape, then it means it is equal to okay. What is advantage of this is it will not allow the user to do any another work until or unless he confirms. Sometimes what happens is we want to display some message, but user is not noticing that message. That means you are showing message, but he is not noticing because somewhere it is going in the screen and he is not noticed. Suppose you see many times you fill a registration form. It's a lengthy registration form you are filling. Some field is wrong. You are not noticing it and repeatedly submit, and it is still showing same page again and again. That means you are repeatedly submitting, it is showing same message. You are not noticing where the problem is, right? So in such cases, we can save the time, simply pop up. What is advantage of pop up? It will not allow them to do anything else until or unless they say okay. That means you cannot work with this page anymore until or unless we click okay. So if you want to show a mandatory confirmation message which they have to confirm and continue, then we have to go with alerts. So alerts are used for such purpose. Alerts are used for such purpose. That means it is mandatory confirm. You cannot cancel. Escape also equal to okay. That is actually the point about alerts. So this is example how we can use alert. In that case, you see now, suppose I am saying, are you sure? Are you sure record will be deleted? That means we are asking a question. Now he says that I click on delete. Are you sure record will be deleted? No, I want to cancel, but there is no cancel. For cancel, so what you can do is you can use confirm. You can use confirm. Confirm, it is same. It is same like alert, but have cancel option. We will have a cancel option. Alert don't have a cancel option, but we have a cancel option. But important, cancel cannot work. Cancel cannot work without logic defined. Without you define any logic, don't think that cancel will cancel. So you have to write logic for okay, you have to write logic for cancel. For example, you see now here, what I am doing is, instead of alert, I will simply change this alert to confirm. Confirm, you can see that it is same like alert, but contains a cancel button. That means you have okay and cancel. You can cancel this. But as of now, cancel or okay, both are same, nothing changed. Why? Because you have to write logic for this. How it knows you clicked okay or cancel? Actually, what happens is, you should know that confirm box, confirm returns true on okay, and it returns false on cancel. And based on that, we have to write logic. Based on that, we have to write the logic. That means this confirm box, this confirm returns true or false. The result of this method is true or false. Then based on that, we have to write logic. What I will do is, temporarily, whatever result it returns, I will store in a flag. Flag is general variable in memory. Later in language, you will learn variables and all. Here we are allocating some memory by name flag. In that memory, we are storing the result of confirm. What will be the result of confirm? It will be either true or false. That means flag contains true or false. And we will write a logic here. If flag is equal to true, if flag is equal to true, means we are comparing that flag is true, then we will put an alert saying that record deleted. If else, we will write else. If it is not true, we will put an alert. Here we will say that cancelled. This message will come. Right? That means it is, if it is verifying whether that confirm is true or false. Confirm returns true on okay. It will return false on cancel. That means now what happens? So here, refresh, click delete button, and you see I click OK, then it says record deleted. So if I say cancel, it says cancel. That means you can write one action for OK, another action for cancel. Directly it cannot work. You have to write the logic for that. So for that, you need to handle a simple logic. So when you want a decision to take okay and cancel by displaying message, then you can do that by using confirm. You can do that by using confirm. So we can display output by using alert. We can display output by using confirm. But alert can contain only okay, confirm can contain okay and cancel. Right? So now another option is console methods. These are not for general users. We don't use this regularly. We use this only for developers. That means when you are building an application, it is still under testing mode. Then we use these methods to tell other developers what is happening in the background. This is not for general people. We don't use this for general people. What we do here, see, suppose on delete click, I am writing console.warn. Console.warn, I will write here delete button clicked. Okay. When true record deleted, I will put console.error. In that, I will display deleted. And here we will put console.log cancelled. Like this, we put some message, or we say okay clicked and deleted. So here cancel clicked and cancelled. Now see, these messages are not for general people. These are for developers. So whatever you written with console, warn, log, and error, all are same. Only colors, icons will change little bit. For example, see, now I will refresh here. You click on delete. It says, are you sure record will be deleted? Okay. Record deleted. Okay. Where are your messages? Those messages are not for general people. Those are for developers. What you do, right click, inspect. In inspect, what happens? We will go to console. In the console, you can see those messages will be there. Right, delete button clicked, okay clicked and deleted. So you click on delete, you say delete button clicked, I click cancel, then okay, cancel clicked and cancel. These are important for developers to notice what activities are performed. Are the activities correctly performed? Are there any technical issues in them? All such things. But finally, when we are publishing this website live, you have to remove all those console things. That means this must be only in development, not in production. In production, you should never write any line related to console. These are only for development. While developing to track the issues and monitor them, we have to use this. But for other purpose, we should never use this, right? So this is a simple. So we can use various console methods. So this is alert, number 1, and this is confirm, that is number 2, and at number 3, we have console methods. So actually, these are developer methods that display status of various actions in console of debugger. We have browsers debugger in that console, you can see them. This is an example. This we need regularly in development, but in production we never use this. Another option is you can display output. You can display output by using document.write. Document.write is nothing but it can display output on a new screen. It will display output on a new screen, complete new screen, not new page. That means page will be same, but output will be on new screen. That means I want to show a fresh screen. I don't want to confuse along with other things. Then what you can simply do is I will remove these consoles, and when record is deleted, flag true. This work I will give to document.write, not to alert. And this work also I will give to document write, or you can leave one write, another alert, your wish. Now you see, now when I click on this delete, I click cancel, it says cancelled. Okay, it stays in the same. But when I click on OK, then it says record deleted. It will show in a new screen, right? It will display in a new screen. So just when you refresh again, your page will be there. That means it's not in a new page, it is on a new screen. So I click delete, I say cancel, so it still stays on the same. I said okay, then it will display on a new screen. And very important, when you are using document.write, so it allows all markup. Whatever markup you want, you can write. That means your HTML. That means here I will say record deleted. Okay. I will put in a heading style. Okay. And after that, I will keep an anchor. Okay. And in this anchor, we will put as a back. And in the back, I will put href is equal to same page. What is the page? Href is equal to output output methods.html. This is a markup that I have designed directly. Now you can see when I click on this delete and say OK, it will present like this. And I click on back, it will get back to the same page. You can present a markup directly. So, and it will display. We can use that by using, it allows markup to present. Anything you can present in a new screen. That is document.write. One I have used alert for cancel because I want to stay on the same. Another I am using new. Sometimes we don't want on a new screen. Sometimes we don't want on a new screen. We want here itself in a paragraph. So in a paragraph, I want to display, or in a heading, I want to display heading 3. I will put some align center. In heading, I want to display. Now, I don't want to display when true. I don't want to display output here. In heading, I want to display. Then what I will do is, how to access this heading? How to access that heading? There is no ID, there is no name. Then we can use document.query selector. Query selector. Remember, get elements by tag name, that is used for multiple. Here you have to refer only one element. That means what it should be. Query selector. Why query selector? Because there is no ID, no name. How to access? If there is no ID, no class, then you can access. There is no name also. Then you can access by using query selector. What is that element? Heading 3. Only one heading is there, no problem. You can access it. Heading 3. Now, if it is a button have a value. If it is a button have a value. If it is a image, src. If it is a heading don't have any value. So heading is a container. If it is a div or a span or a paragraph or a block quote or table cell or data definition or list item or option, they have, option is having text and value, but others are empty containers. In container, if you want to show anything, we have to use inner text. In a container, if you want to show anything, because heading is an empty container, then inner text. Inner text is equal to record, I say record deleted. This message will come. Right now you see here, I click on delete, I click cancel, cancelled, okay. I click on delete, I click OK, then record deleted. Here itself in the page it will display. You can display in heading or paragraph or div or span, anything. Just you have to refer the ID. But very important is, I want to display in red color. I want to display in red color. Then I am using my HTML techniques. In HTML, how to display in red color? We can use a font. In that font, we can use a color is equal to red. Remember, in a double quote, you cannot use another double quote. You have to use a single quote. Right here, font color is red and message is record deleted. Now you can see that this, I click on it and I say OK. That means it is showing that as it is. That means inner text can display 4. We have inner, not 4, 5. Yeah. Inner text. What inner text can do is, it can display output in any container. But problem is, it is RC data type. You know what it is. That means it will not allow any formats. No formats are allowed. That means it can present only plain text, not even symbols, icons or anything. So then what you can do is, you can better use inner HTML. Inner HTML, it allows formats. That means inner text is not allowing. Then I will change this not to inner HTML, inner text. I'll change to inner HTML. Now you see now here I click on this delete, say okay, it is red. This is not working earlier because we have inner text. Inner text will not support the formats. If you have to support the formats, you have to use inner HTML. Example is same. You can display anywhere in a div or in a paragraph. If it is having ID, remember these are initial examples. Every day we are going to use this now, right? Every day in different examples, we have to use these output techniques. We have inner HTML, we have inner text. For example, see now here, I will put a paragraph. Okay, let's put a paragraph. In paragraph, I need to display message. Then what to do? Tell me. So I have to define document dot. Suppose this paragraph is having an ID. What is the ID? Container. Then how to access this? Document dot get element by ID. What is it? Container. Container dot inner HTML. In this, suppose I want to present a paragraph heading. Because inner HTML will support heading, I will put a heading record deleted. Now this is not good idea. Why? Because previously, okay, color I am applying, but you are adding heading. So in this paragraph, that means in a paragraph, you are adding heading. Why? Display directly in paragraph. Why you are adding a heading in a paragraph? So that means my intention is to add in a heading style. Then what should happen? This paragraph should remove and heading should come. But currently what it is doing, it will keep the paragraph. Inside the paragraph, heading will come. You can see that. Let's go to the inspect elements. In elements, you can see in the body, you have paragraph. When I click delete and say okay, in the paragraph heading is added. That is waste. So paragraph already have line break above below. In that again you are adding a heading above below. That doesn't make any sense. That means you remove this paragraph and add heading. Then what you can do is you can use another option here. So we can use another option here. We can use outer HTML. Outer HTML. What outer HTML? Actually, inner HTML will keep the existing element and add new element into container. Element into container. What outer HTML will do is outer HTML will replace the existing element with new element. That's good. This is not required every time. Only when you want to remove that and keep this. That means I don't want to remove. Then I can just keep it like this, inner HTML. In an inner HTML, it is displaying this heading inside paragraph. But see now what I will do, I will change this to outer HTML. When I change to outer HTML, see the body, there is paragraph. And when I click on delete and OK, the paragraph will be changed to heading. There is no paragraph now. There is no paragraph here. It's gone. It is replaced with heading. That means sometimes we just want to apply some effects into it. Then we can directly add. We just want to replace the existing and keep this new. Then we have to use this option. What is it? Outer HTML. So that is difference between inner HTML and outer HTML, right? You can display anywhere, any number of messages. For example, record deleted. Suppose I have, so this is paragraph. I am keeping a div here. I am keeping a div. For this, I am having a class called MSG. In that also I want to display, then access document dot query selector, because classes can be accessed only with query selector. Dot, what is it? MSG. That is the class. In that we have to display inner HTML. So I will say record, delete button, OK button clicked, OK button clicked and record deleted. This message I am just giving. You can add anything there. Now I click delete and click OK. Two messages will come. One is displayed in heading, another is displayed in normal div. You can display anywhere. You can access that container and display. Suppose you are having a data definition, you are having a table cell, you can display anywhere, right? You can access and display the output in any location. For that, we have to use this inner HTML, outer HTML like option. This is another example. These are all the output techniques. Again, there is nothing like which one is best. So according to situation, we use all of them regularly. Sometimes we use alerts, conforms. In same program, we use 4 or 5 output techniques. One we use inner HTML, when you use outer HTML. All output techniques can be used in one program also. Right? That depends on requirement. There is nothing like which one is the best technique. Right? So these are all various output techniques. Now we have to learn how input is taken, how it will take value from you and handle that value, right? How input handles in JavaScript. That we'll see tomorrow, right? This is enough because JavaScript is lot of practice needed. Otherwise you cannot catch. So it is not like HTML, JavaScript. If you don't practice, you can't catch my topics. In future, you cannot follow me. All these days you take 5 days gap, 6 days gap and practice, still you can catch me. But in JavaScript, if you don't follow my topics regularly practicing, you can't catch, you can't understand 100% because it is very complicated logics. Now you have to put your brain much, right? Skills of logic programming are very important now. This is where UI developers are tested in interviews. Nobody will ask you questions related to HTML, CSS, Bootstrap in interviews. UI interview 80% questions JavaScript only. 80% JavaScript, either experienced or fresher. Right? If you don't handle JavaScript, you cannot crack interviews. Right? That's the reason you need good practice. Then tomorrow we'll continue. In tomorrow, we will see how to handle input and output together. How do we design examples? Right.